Alright, welcome back. In this video we're talking about the cover. Very important. Cover, very important. So you got two choices here as well. Now, let me just write something down before we do anything. The cover is most likely at least 50-60% of your sales. So cover is at least 50, 60, and I'm being negative here. I personally believe it's probably 80% of your sales on Amazon. Bosh and bosh. That's what it is. Reason being, people are looking for, that's the first thing that they got right up to their face is the cover. They see it straight away and they'll be like, oh, okay, I like it, I don't like it. If they don't like it, it's already gone. That's it. You lost that customer. It's gone. So if you have a cover that it doesn't look good, bye-bye. See ya. Your first point of contact is your cover. Everything else comes after. Think about it. So at least 50%, 60% of your sales comes from your cover. What does it tell you? You need to do it right. So if we go to Amazon.com, let's say I'm opening my usual book. Let's open this one up. I'll keep opening the same one. If I like this cover, I'll open it. If I don't like it, I'll never open it. If I don't open it, I'll never buy it, and so on. Look at here. I got all these covers all together. So if quickly, I have a quick glance, I'm looking at them. Maybe I don't really like this one because it's a little bit different. What does it tell you? I'm never going to open that. I might open this one, which looks good. This one looks nice. That's the first glance. As a first glance, this is the first thing that people see is your cover. That's why it's so important. I see so many times cover that they look terrible, really terrible, and they ask me, oh, I don't know why my book is not selling, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, you might be probably doing something wrong, but definitely your cover is not helping you at all. All right, so here, as we said, we got two options. Again, do it yourself or hiring a professional graphic designer. Now, if you do it yourself, you can use Canva, you can use Adobe, Photoshop, my suggestion is do not do it yourself. Do not do that. Just delegate it to a professional. The cover is so important. If you only got one thing that you want to invest and delegate, is this one. So I'd rather you doing your book on your own and just delegate and pay somebody for the cover. Now, if you do it yourself and you use Canva or Adobe Photoshop, you might be a graphic designer yourself. So you find all the directive into the Amazon KDP website, or you can Google it. It'll tell you all the format and all the measurement that you need to get. But believe me, even if you're a graphic designer, from my perspective, but you never publish anything on Amazon KDP, or you got no clue, you might be a very good graphic designer, but you got no experience in book covers and things like this. Now, if you don't, in that case, my suggestion is spend money and hire a professional graphic designer who already did a loads of cover and has got successful history, portfolio of covers. So here is what I would do. I would just go on Amazon and have a look at all the covers of my competitors, the one that they're really selling in my categories, in my niche, in my keywords, the keywords that I've found. I got a title, I got a subtitle. I have a look at all the covers of people that have got very low BSR. So I'm taking, let's say this one, 4,000, 6,000, 33,000. I'm looking at those, and what I do, I take a screenshot and I put it into a document, at least 4 of them. I've done it already here. Look, boom. Can you see that? So I took a copy and paste, I took a screenshot singularly, and I put it one next to each other. Now, remember, I want to delegate somebody to do that. Now, if you do it yourself, this works also if you do it yourself. I'm not suggesting you to do that, but if you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. If I delegate somebody, a graphic designer, to do that, I need to give him a brief. We were talking earlier for the book manuscript. Now, when I give them a brief, I want to tell them the title, the subtitle, what I want in there. If I want the subtitle, because from my perspective, the subtitle is not necessary in a cover. We can talk more about that eventually in a future video. But you can see that some people here, they put a subtitle, some people they didn't. So it's preferable choice. Nonetheless, you give them the brief with what you want, and then you also attach a document with 4 or 5 examples of the most lowest BSR cover that you find on your niche. Now, as you can tell, they look very similar, do they? They look very similar, and they all have a low BSR. This is what you want to do. You don't want to invent anything yourself. You don't want to say to the guy, oh, you want to cover like this with a yellow background and it has to be green, the font in green. There's nobody's got green and yellow. Do you know what I mean? There is a reason for that. It might be on a different niche. If you go into gardening, then maybe you can put yellow and green and all that stuff. But for this niche, as you can tell, especially for this particular carnivore diet cookbook, all the background a little bit on the darker side. There's nothing bright or as a background. They all have some sort of a red and white. Do you know what I mean? So this is exactly what you have to do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do it yourself. You take what works and you give it to him and say, look, take inspiration from there. And then if you want to differentiate on something, you obviously want to differentiate. You don't want to do exactly the same, but, minimal changes. You don't want to completely do something totally out of the blue, totally different. You get me? So as you can tell, they all the selling one, they got very low BSR. They're all looking very similar. Yeah. So this protocol, this way of doing it works for this niche, but it works for every book that you're going to make. Now, I'll give you an example. If I go here and I put Python programming, so Python for beginners, actually, that's even better. Oh, you can tell that here. You see, Python programming is like a computer niche, a software computer and stuff like that. For beginners, they all have a similar. If I put Python programming for beginners, it will be even more. Look at this. The first few they all look very similar. Look at these. Do they? Why do you think they do that? Because it works. Because they all have a lower BSR. So in this particular keyword, in this particular niche, you notice that you take in these. You see, they all have blue background on a yellow font and some white. And they also have some kind of a badge, but they all look very similar. Look, in fact, this one has got 24,000 in books. This one is kind of a new, so he hasn't gone there yet. This one has got 18,000. You know what I mean? This one tried to do something totally different, and guess what? It's got 197,000. It doesn't work. I'm not saying it doesn't work only because of that. It might be some other reason, like the title is a little bit poor compared to something like this, as you can tell. But nonetheless, the cover is really important. So when you do that, you want whichever niche you're going to end up. Maybe you do, as I said, you go into gardening and all the covers are dark green and they have some yellow flowers. This is what you want to do. So make sure, really, you are doing your homework. And when you talk to your graphic designer, you just give them a good detailed brief. He will ask you more information probably if he needs it to. And then you at least give them 4 pictures, 4 screenshots of the covers that are on the top level of that niche. The one that they got the lowest BSR. So go to Fiverr. When you go to Fiverr, you can go here, you put book cover design, search, and then you can open some up and see. That's exactly the same process as before. So you can open. If I was you, I'll go for reviews star. This one has got 5-star reviews with 1,000. So I'll open him up. I'll have a look at what kind of cover he's doing. And if I'm happy with it, I might go with him. So cover, it could cost you anything between $20 and $300, really. No, maybe not $300, but 100. Let's say $20 and $150 or something like that. It depends who's doing the cover and who's doing what. But this one here, look, Valentina P. Sounds Italian, actually. This one is a very good one, and it's $135. Standard premium, as you can see. So delegate. This is what I would do if I was you. Especially the cover is the most important bit. So if he's one thing that you want to delegate and you can only afford to delegate the cover, really. It doesn't matter, even if you're a graphic designer, but you've never done any book. If you've done a lot of books and you've done your cover and you've been successful, just go for it. But if you're a graphic designer and you haven't really never done a book cover or something, just at least for the first one, just give it to somebody, some of your colleagues that they did book covers, and just pay them to do it. You understand? It's that important, believe it or not. If you really want to do it yourself, good luck. Canva, Adobe, Photoshop, whatever. The process is the same. You have to find out who's your main competitor, the one that they got the lowest BSR. Put them together, put it aside, have a look what their background is. Just take inspiration from them and just differentiate yourself without doing something totally out of the box, if you know what I mean. Just keep it simple. That's the thing. So cover is at least 50, 60, probably more, 80% of your sales. From my perspective, you can do it yourself. You can hire a professional graphic designer. I definitely recommend you send them a screenshot and let them do it. All right, we wrap it up. I'll see you all in the next video.